All right, so Tita Jocelyn, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with the environmental movement, sustainability here in Los Angeles.
Um, I started actually my awareness and horror and let's see, emergence sense of an emergency happened in 1970 when I read that styrofoam cups that were already in use in the 70s, right, would not degrade for 1,000 years, that they were thrown in landfills and would continue um, in their state of original state of a plastic white cup for 1,000 years. And I was horrified. I was young then, in my 20s, and I saw cups blowing out on the streets. That was the start of my, I guess, awareness of what we're doing to the planet. So it's evolved and matured from that point on to other things and how we can empower ourselves to actually make a difference for the future generations. I won't live to see the fruits of my labor even at this time, 40 years since that first awakening in 1970. But I'm thinking more of my grandchildren, other children who belong to us as well.
You've had a lot of great work in LA. Can you share a little bit about especially the LA Green New Deal and your work with Garcetti and others in the city?
Yes, I was one of the. I was served as the commissioner on the Building and Safety Department for the Building and Safety Department for 9 years. Mayor Garcetti then appointed me in 2013 to be on this commission. So because of that involvement, as well as involvement in the neighborhood councils, I was asked to join in the task force for developing a toolkit for the Green New Deal. Now, the Green New Deal was the legislation that was passed by the City Council and signed into law by Mayor Eric Garcetti, which has the goals, for example, of zero carbon buildings by 2030 for older buildings, and by 2045 for newer construction. Zero waste emissions, that all vehicles in the city of LA have no greenhouse gas emissions by 2045. Another metric is a zero. I'm blanking right now. There are three more, but I'm most familiar with zero waste, which says the goal is to divert our trash from the landfill by 90% by 2025, and that's only next year. By 2045, the goal is 100% diversion from the landfills. Now, our landfills are in trouble. They're getting too full. They're overflowing. Plus, they're suffering from spontaneous combustion. Landfills are, erupting in flames and burning material because of the organic wastes that have been
The buildup of
accumulated.
methane,
Yeah,
which
the
is
methane
also
is
a very,
and
very
it's a worse, greenhouse
powerful.
gas emission.
Correct.
It's a more actually problem, a bigger problem than even carbon dioxide.
So it was actually passed into law, the Green New Deal. It's not just a manifesto. It was adopted by the city council as a goal.
I'm saying I think I believe that, so I better check because I thought it would have been have to have been passed by City Council if Mayor Garcetti, made an edict about the Green New Deal. Now Mayor Bass has adopted the that same Green New Deal that was developed and passed by the Garcetti administration, which is delightful and reassuring that we continue with this Green New Deal.
And so for it to be successful, I believe, residents, stakeholders need to be a part of it. And that's where
Absolutely.
we come in. So can you talk about the Willie Holla program that is being pioneered by the Friends of Echo Park Library, and what its significance is?
Well, Willie Holla is essentially a project to increase pollinator gardens to support the wildlife that is a crucial chain in our food production chain. If pollinators aren't around to function and help germinate and pollinate vegetable flowers and important plants, then we our plant, the strata that feeds us will be in trouble. So there have been studies that have shown that pollinators are in danger in the world, in fact. And so taking even that small piece can be a lifesaver for our species.
And so, can you tell more about like how other people, what your vision is for Willie Holla and LA, and
Uh,
libraries and
yeah,
community members?
yeah. Well, we have a wonderful opportunity since LA City Library has adopted the garden revitalization as a main goal. Within that, the pollinator garden is an important piece, and we as Friends of the Echo Park Library have adopted that, along, of course, with the management, the staff of Echo Park Library. Together, we've chosen that as a focus of our projects and our efforts for the next few years. Why it's important? Was that your question?
Yes.
Why is it important?
Why is it important, and why should people care and participate, join, build their own
Do you
Willie
care
Holla
about your
garden?
food source? Do you care about the future of your children having? Do you care about children having a stable food source in the future? I mean, that's the short answer.
And then the question is how.
How? We have a doable, a very practical approach to being part of the solution, and that is to utilize pockets of unused space either in your own garden and we've even envisioned this is happening in balconies of apartments, so renters can have a meaningful part in deploying this solution. That's the how, is to utilize whatever little space you have. Because I can show you my little Willie Holla right here. Do you want to see it?
We'll take a look at it later.
Okay.
But now it's the message, the challenge to the other libraries. Now this started in historic Filipino town, but there are other libraries and friends groups out there. What
Yeah.
will be your challenge to them? What will be your sustainability challenge?
Well, I guess it's not so much a challenge as an inspiration to hope that they join, that other libraries and friends groups feel this is doable. It's not an impossible dream. It's very doable. come and check us out, and we'll tell you how you can do it too.
All right, so let's check it out. Check out your little Willie Holla.
I even bought the wildlife plaque. I have a native garden, here that is host to butterflies and bees. There are 2, 4, 6, 7 little plants in this little front yard. And I have water source here. I change it every twice a week. I take the bowl out and wash the basin and provide water for the birds that come by and visit. Yeah, it's
So what defines a Willie Holla pollinator garden?
What defines it?
Do you have to plant certain species?
Native plants. California native plants are what will be most sustaining to wildlife. There's the definition here. The National Wildlife Federation. This property is recognized for its commitment to sustainably provide essential elements of wildlife habitat, and these elements are food, water, cover, and places to raise their young.
There you go. Pretty doable.
Very doable.
All right. Any last call to all Angelinos?
You can do it.
There you go.